Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching a Comic Hero show. Now kick that intro! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Now, prostate cancer is cancer that occurs in the prostate, and the prostate is a small walnut-shaped gland that produces a seminal fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. Now, prostate cancer is one of the most common types of cancer among men. Many prostate cancers grow slowly and are confined to the prostate gland, where they may not cause serious harm. However, while some types of prostate cancer grow slowly and may need minimal or even no treatment, other types are aggressive and can spread quickly. Prostate cancer may cause no signs or symptoms in its early stages, but prostate cancer that's more advanced may cause signs and symptoms such as trouble urinating, decreased form in the stream of urine, blood in the semen, bone pain, losing weight without trying, and erectile dysfunction. Now, I personally know some men that have battled prostate cancer and have beaten it, and I know some men that have battled prostate cancer and didn't make it. And this episode is in honor of all the men that have survived, and in memory of all the men that passed on, and in honor of their families, because whatever fight anyone that has cancer, it's their family's fight as well. I say this all the time. And this is a Prostate Cancer Awareness Comic Hero tee. And if you would like your very own, you can find them on my website, IamTheComicHero.com, for $17. Now, I have a very special announcement that I'm going to make in the Comically Speaking segment. But for right now, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. Alright, last week's episode, I asked, Magneto magnetically removed the adamantium from Wolverine's skeletal system. Which X-Men villain restored it years later? Well, the correct answer is Apocalypse. And 6 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their name's been entered in the drawing for a free tee. That drawing takes place right now. So the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Michael Hernandez from Shreveport, Louisiana. So congratulations, Michael. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Thor question. In the comics, Thor recently discovered that his biological mother was the first host of which cosmic entity? Now here's some hints. The first hint is that this entity debuted in the Uncanny X-Men number 101 in 1976. The second hint, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Emma Frost, Colossus, Namor the Submariner, and even Howard the Duck are all former hosts of this cosmic entity, with Jean Grey being the longest tenured out of all of them, or pretty much any character in the Marvel Universe in that matter. Alright, the third hint is that this cosmic entity is named after an immortal bird associated with Greek mythology that psychically regenerates or is otherwise born again. Alright, the fourth hint is that the name of this cosmic entity is also the name of the capital of Arizona. That's a dead giveaway. And then I'm just going to throw this one in for free. The fifth hint, both Glenn Campbell and Isaac Hayes recorded the song By the Time I Get to Blank. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Now, I usually reserve the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown segment for viewers to make requests. But every once in a while, I like to come out with one. And this one features a classic character in the DC universe that can replicate powers, going up against a classic villain in the Marvel universe that can replicate powers. Represent DC, we have a Mazo. And represent Marvel, we have a Super Adaptoid. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call...
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's a Mazo versus Super Adaptoid. A Mazo possesses power duplication, computer intelligence, and weapon mimicry. Super Adaptoid possesses the ability to mimic superhuman abilities. Who will win? A Mazo may possess more abilities than Super Adaptoid, but this would still be a solid fight to the end. A Mazo would mimic Green Lantern's power ring and send a concussive blast at Super Adaptoid, but the latter would use a replica of Captain America's shield and block the blast. He would then use the shield to hurl at a Mazo, but a Mazo would challenge Superman's abilities and destroy the shield with one strong punch. A Mazo would then unleash the full extent of his powers, fly at a blinding speed towards Super Adaptoid, and deliver a series of rapid punches in the Flash form. He then ropes Super Adaptoid with a replica of Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. The lasso causes Super Adaptoid to randomly think the thoughts of every character in the Marvel Universe all at once, and suddenly shuts down. A Mazo wins, and that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed that fight. If you want to make a request of your own, you can do so. Now, here are my rules. There has to be at least one comic book or manga character involved, and then they must face another comic book character or manga character, a video game character, or a serious-minded cartoon character like Optimus Prime, Voltron, anyone like that. And make sure that the fight makes sense. I mean, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense for, I don't know, Jimmy Olsen to go up against Sub-Zero or Thanos the Mad Titan or anyone like that. Alright, now it's time for Comically Speaking. So without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, there's only one thing we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and also coincides with the announcement that I have to make. Alright, the one thing that I'm going to talk about is Arkansas Heroes and Villains Con. It's January 21st, 2023 at the Benton Event Center in Benton, Arkansas. And it's only one day, and it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's going to be 8 hours, but there are going to be some great guests coming. And some of the guests are going to be Dean Kane and Callan. Now, if those names don't really sound that familiar to you, then some roles that they played on a TV show back in the 90s will. Dean Kane, well, okay, a lot of folks know who Dean Kane is. Dean Kane played the role of Clark Kent's Superman on Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, and Kay Callan played Martha Kent on there. So they're going to be on there. They're going to be guests there as well as Wrestling Hall of Famer Kevin Nash, and then one of my favorite comics artists, Toad Rodriguez. I have quite a few books that he has penciled, and then there's some other guests. Now, I said all that to say this. This is my announcement. Now, a few months ago, I had said that I was done with cons in terms of being a vendor, but thanks to the encouragement of one of my dear friends, I've decided I'm going to come out of retirement in terms of being a vendor. So I will be a vendor at Arkansas Heroes and Villains Cons on January 21st. So if you live near or far, especially if you live in the Arkansas area, whether it's Southwest Arkansas, South Arkansas, Southeast Arkansas, or even Central Arkansas, y'all come. Y'all come out and support this con. And I'm going to sell some Comic Hero tees, some hats, cups, and also the charcoal soap, which I first started selling at GeekCon last year. I'm really excited about this. This is the first time that I've either attended or have been a vendor at a con outside of Louisiana. And I'm really excited. And again, I'm very excited about this. And That's all I have to say, so y'all come. Alright, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Avengers number 60. Avengers Forever number 9. Avengers X-Men Eternals Judgment Day number 5. Batgirls number 2. Batgirls number 3. Batman Superman World's Finest number 7. Black Adam number 4. Captain America Sentinel of Liberty number 3. Catwoman number 47. Dark Crisis Young Justice number 4. Fantastic Four number 47. The Flash number 786. Legion of X number 5. New Mutants number 30. Radiant Black number 18. Strange number 6. And finally, X-Men Legends number 2. Alright, that's 17, which brings the total number of comics that I've bought since December of 1997 to 11,599. Alright, well, I hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. In the comics, Thor recently discovered that his biological mother was the first host of which cosmic entity? Now, here are the hints again. The first hint is that this cosmic entity debuted in the Uncanny X-Men number 101 in 1976. The second hint, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Emma Frost, Colossus, Namor the Submariner, and even Howard the Duck are all former hosts of this cosmic entity. Although Jean Grey, out of any character in the Marvel Universe that's ever been the host of this entity, has been the host the longest. Then the third hint, this cosmic entity is named after an immortal bird of Greek mythology that psychically regenerates or is otherwise born again. It also rises from the ashes. And then the fourth hint, and this is kind of a dead giveaway, the name of this cosmic entity is also the name of the capital of Arizona. And then the fifth and final hint, both Glenn Campbell and Isaac Hayes recorded the song By the Time I Get to Blank. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Michael Hernandez from Shreveport, Louisiana, won a free tee on this week's episode. Alright, here's the road ahead for the show. On next week's episode, I'm going to raise awareness of the NICU. Now, the NICU stands for the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, and it's where babies who are born with birth injuries, birth defects, or even born prematurely spend the first days, weeks, or even months of life in. Now, this episode is in loving memory of all the babies that spent time in the NICU who didn't make it, and in honor of their families. And it's also in honor of all the babies who who spent the first few days, weeks, or even months in the NICU and have survived, in honor of their families as well. It's also in honor of all the doctors and nurses that have worked tirelessly to make sure these babies are nursed back to health. And then on episode 419, I'm really excited about this. It's the 9th anniversary episode of the Comic Hero Show. Really excited about it. I'm gonna have a shirt, and I'm also gonna give away 5 shirts just like it. And I haven't posted it yet, but it's going to be first on the Comic Hero Fan Forum on Facebook, and then it's also going to be throughout social media in the week leading up. So just like I did with the 400th episode shirt, all you have to do is like and love in order to enter for a free shirt, and then hopefully I'll draw your name. And again, I'm drawing 5 names. And then on episode 420, I'm going to raise awareness of a cause that's near and dear to me, and that's breast cancer. And the reason I say that is because my mom is a 10-year breast cancer survivor. My aunt is a breast cancer survivor. And I had a great aunt who was a breast cancer survivor and lived to see past 100. And it's in honor of them. It's in honor of any other man or woman that have beaten breast cancer. And it's in loving memory of all the men and women that have died of breast cancer and in honor of their families. And then on episode 421, I'm going to raise awareness of multiple hereditary exostoses. This is a cause that I raised awareness of for the first time last year, and I'm going to do it every year in October moving forward. And I didn't say this at the beginning of the show, but to all the men who are battling prostate cancer, fight. That's all I have to say. Fight. And if you're too tired to fight, get someone else to do it for you, whether it be a family member or a friend. There's always someone that's willing to stand in the gap for you. And then also, I'm saying this to just about anyone that's going through any cause. If there's something not right about you, don't put it off. Go get checked out, because it's your life and you only live it once. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 418. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.